Hi, I'm Clara Rose, and this is Influence Matters, the show where each week I share tips, tricks, tools, hacks, resources, and sometimes interviews to help savvy influence builders just like you to strategically and intentionally cultivate their influence, because we know that influence is how we generate organic leads for our business, ministry, cause, or brand. And that is why we're here today. So I am excited to get started and jump right in. Welcome to another episode. Of course, before we begin, I like to give special thanks to our sponsors. So thank you to Rosedale Publishing. They specialize in business books for professionals and entrepreneurs, just like you, my friends. So if you're looking to have your next book or your first book published, those are the people that you can reach out to. Thank you for being our show sponsor. And of course, I have to say thank you to the fine folks over at WeBeam TV, where we are today, for truly making this show possible. So thank you, Tampa Bay Multimedia. Okay, so if you are a regular viewer, you know that I usually start off with a question from the audience. Someone just like you who've sent a question in to hello@clararose.com. And I use this show as a platform to be able to answer those questions for you as a group. If you have been here this summer, you know I'm specializing in some fun guest stuff. So today, instead of a question from a viewer just like you, I have a special guest. And I'm excited to share some what he's got going on, and let me introduce him to you really quickly. Okay, his name is Alan Dean. And Alan is the owner of Digital Agency. I'm not sure how exactly he spells it, but there's the ad right there. And he also does some amazing software that we're going to talk about today. He is an established author, speaker, trainer, coach, mentor, but the really amazing part is that he is a multi-million-dollar salesman and a funnel expert. And if you do not have a digital funnel in the digital world, you are in trouble, my friend. And this is the professional that can help you with that. So help me welcome Alan. Are you with me, Alan?
I am here.
There you are.
Hello, Clara.
Welcome. Thank you. I know that you're very busy. Thank you for taking some time to be on the show and talk to us about what it is that you do. So, Alan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Clara. Glad to be here. Hopefully I can provide, some value for your listeners today. And so that's what we'll do. But my main focus, I kind of have my hands in a lot of different little cookie jars, these days and stuff like that. But my main focus is I try to help people save time, right? So one of my biggest things is that I'm very conscious of time. Time is our most valuable asset by far. Time is the only thing that it doesn't matter how much money we have, we can't buy more time. When the time is gone, we can't get it back. And so I try really hard to be conscious of my time, and we can talk about that if you want at some point today about kind of tricks and tools that I use to help me stay cognizant of my time and spend it wisely. But that's one of the main things I do is I just really try to focus on time and spend time wisely. And in line with that, for the last couple of years, I've been creating softwares that automate a lot of my day-to-day tasks, right? And so, as you mentioned, you talked a little bit about organic marketing and stuff like that, and that's the main game that I play, a lot of our organic marketing, a lot of organic sales. And I try to automate a lot of my tasks through different softwares. And so this frees up a lot of my time so I can focus my time on things that are most valuable to me. And so that's what I spend a lot of my time doing. My main software is called Friend or Foe. And, what that one does is when you receive, if you're active on Facebook, we know that we have a maximum amount of friends that we can accept, which is 5,000, right? That's the most that Facebook will allow any of us to have. And so those 5,000 friends, so to speak, that's a coveted list, right? That we can't have any more than 5,000. And so on Facebook, if we're focusing on organic marketing or trying to get organic sales for our product or our service or whatever it is that we're doing, we really need to make sure and maximize the people that are in our friends list. That friends list needs to be full of people that are going to like, comment, and share our posts and the stuff that we put out on social media, right? That's the metric that all social media is held by: like, comment, share. And
right.
so,
right.
And so we really need to make sure that our friends list is, full of the right kind of people. And so if you're active on Facebook, you'll be able to understand that you get friend requests just kind of all the time, right? They come flying in all the time. The more active you are on Facebook, the more friend requests you get. And the problem is, as we all know, the majority of those friend requests are spammers and fakes and bots and, pastors from Bolivia who want your money and mail order brides from Russia and whatever. So we get a lot of that kind of junk, right? Everybody
right,
can
junk.
relate to that. Yeah, everybody can relate to that. And so we can't spend our time. Nobody can possibly convince me that it's worth our time to sit there and vet hundreds or thousands of friend requests. We can't sit there all day and go, okay, do I know this person? Do they have a real picture? Is their Facebook account more than a month old? Do we have mutual friends? Did they send me a message and the first one says, hey, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?
Right.
All this kind of stuff that we all experience. But you just can't spend your time doing that. But here's the problem that I realized. There are a lot, probably most actually, people that send you friend requests that actually did have good intentions. They saw something you posted somewhere. They saw someone tagged you. They saw a video, something somewhere that made them take interest into you. Like, hey, I like what this guy had to say, or I like what this other person had to say about this guy, or whatever, right? And so they send you a friend request. And so in doing so, they've reached their hand out and they've said, hey, here's my name. Nice to meet you. Want to be friends or whatever. And so to me, that is a free lead. That is a free lead that I got organically somehow, whether intentionally or not, or unintentionally. That's a free lead. And so how many free leads do you think you have right now sitting in your friend request box? Maybe 10, hundreds, thousands, possibly?
Yeah, a lot, because
a lot.
How often do you really take the time to go? Because we're busy. Most of us are busy working in and on our business. Right. So
right.
To take that time to go in and plow through, because I'm super particular. I don't, at least in my personal stuff where you're getting the friend requests, I do literally go look at their picture and I click on their website if they have a website link, and I look and see. I literally do that because I don't want a bunch of spammy, smarmy obnoxiousness on my page, on my feed, right? I don't want that, so I'm really particular. So mine just stack up and stack up and stack up, and then I'll go in occasionally and plow through, a couple dozen. But I could never keep up with that, right? I could never get ahead of the game, so they just keep stacking up. Occasionally I work on them. Most of the time I just don't bother, right? Because my time is way more valuable working in or on my business than it is on my social media. So
exactly.
Sorry, social media lovers, but there's the truth.
That is the truth. But like I said, when we realize how much potential customers could be sitting there, that's when it becomes like, oh man, well, there is value in these friend requests, but how can I, warrant spending my time to go through them and figure out which ones are valuable and which ones are not? And so this was how Friend or Foe was born. I looked for a solution to this. There was none that existed anywhere. And so, when I created the first software, Friend or Foe, basically what Friend or Foe does is it responds to all of your incoming friend requests automatically on your behalf by sending them customized messages that you can create on your own. And and all that. And we won't go too deep into the details, but basically what we're doing is weeding all that out. I'm going to send them an automated message that just says whatever you want to say. Hey, thanks for sending me a friend request. Can you tell me where we know each other from? Or, what caused you to send me a friend request, whatever you want to say. And what that is doing is breaking the ice. Here's the thing, guys. If I send them a message and they won't respond to that message, keeping in mind they're the one that sent me the friend request, if they're not even going to respond to a message saying, hey, this is where I know you from, hey, this is why I sent you a friend request, do you really think they're going to engage on your Facebook? Do you really think they're going to like, comment, and share your stuff? No.
Right.
And so that is the beauty of friend requests. So now I can weed out all that stuff and I can just focus on the people who I know are going to engage, because these are the people that are going to respond to those messages. And that whittles down the hundreds or thousands of people to a much smaller list that I can afford to spend the time to, message those people back when they do message me. And so essentially that is Friendifier has a lot of different features. It does a lot of different things, but as a general rule, just kind of a Cliff Notes overview, that's basically what it does. And that's why we created it, was to maximize the people on our friends list and just not have to spend the time to sit there and go through all of those friend requests. And so
Sure.
That's why it was created.
So is it just specifically for Facebook, or does it work on other social media platforms as well?
Right now, it works on Facebook and LinkedIn. And then we also have a happy birthday software that also works on Facebook and LinkedIn. And all that one does is just every day it looks through your friends list, it finds people that have birthdays, and it posts automatic messages on your behalf. And you can post it on their timeline or send it to their messenger or whatever you want to do. And it's just another way to organically engage with people on your friends list, right? So every day I'm engaging with people on my friends list, and engagement is key on social media. That's why it's called social media. That's what Facebook wants. Facebook wants us, or LinkedIn or any of them, they want us to engage. That's why it's social. And so when they see that, they start to reward us by putting our content in front of more people, whatever, right? And so key is engagement. We're always trying to engage. And so that's kind of what the softwares do for me, is they really help me to engage with my followers and my friends lists, and stuff like that. But the key word here is automated. Like, it's doing it on my behalf, so I don't have to spend the time every day looking at my friends list, typing out birthday messages. All these kinds of things is what I've created softwares to do for me.
So when I hear software, it doesn't necessarily scare me, because I use, Kajabi, and, I use lots of different platforms and softwares, and I'm comfortable with them, but many people are not. So the word software might scare them a touch. Tell us, how simple is this to use? Is this something we have to download onto our computer and then somehow hook up to Facebook? And are we going to be unable to do the techie part? Tell us how that piece works.
Okay, so this is number one rule for entrepreneurs. If you're going out and you're creating a product or a service for your customers, the number one thing that you have to do, especially if it's a product like software or anything else, but especially if it's a product, the number one thing you have to do is you have to think on kindergarten level. Okay, you have to make your product so easy to use that it's almost impossible for people to not be able to figure it out. Now, there's always exceptions. There's always someone that just defies that rule.
Always.
Those people are always going to exist. But as a general rule, I try to make my stuff uber kindergarten friendly, as much as possible. Obviously, it's doing a lot of tasks, so there are some things that we have to tell it to do, but most of my stuff is simple check boxes, yes, I want to do this, no, I don't want to do that, and then putting in your messages. Now, my softwares are Chrome extensions, what's called Chrome extensions, and so they're downloads from the Chrome store, not even really downloads. It doesn't download software, so to speak, onto your computer. It just puts it in your Chrome extensions, in the tab on your computer, and they run automatically. So when you download the software, once you have an account created, then the software automatically logs into, if you will, whatever social media account you are logged into on your computer. Okay, so if you're on your computer and I'm logged into my personal Facebook account, the software is also going to take from that same Facebook account. So you don't have to do any logins in my software, in my extensions. It just automatically connects to whatever social media account you're already logged into on your computer. So you don't have to do any of that. It does it on its own. And then, like I said, it's pretty simple. I have obviously, instruction manual and stuff like that. When they download the software, it teaches you how to do it and all that. But But I try to make it super, super kindergarten friendly is what I call it. And I would encourage anyone that creates products to do the exact same thing, is just to make it so easy for your customers. Because when they log in, if they download anything or buy something, they don't want to sit there for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to use it.
Right.
And if they feel lost and they're like, man, this is so confusing, they're out. They're going to be out every single time. They're going to call you. They're going to request a refund, cancel their service, whatever it is, and you've lost that customer. And so that's kind of what I try to do. I just try to make it super, super, super simple as I possibly can. And I just try to dumb it down, to the lowest levels possible. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean. It's just the truth. It's just people these days, that's why, ads on Facebook are seconds long and not minutes long, because you just lose people's interest very, very, very quickly, and you just have to be able to grab them and get them to do what you want them to do very, very quickly. And if they have to do too much thinking, people are lazy today. that's the cold hard truth. People are lazy today. If they have to work real hard, they're done.
They're out.
So we just try to avoid that as much as possible.
So as long as I have a home office, and then I have my business office, and have computer, and then I have my laptop. So I'll just need to add the Chrome extension one time to each of those devices, correct?
Generally just one. So generally just one, whatever main computer you use. You don't download them to your phone or anything like that. It would go to your computer. So if you have a laptop or a desktop that you generally use every day, you really just need to download. You can download it to your other ones. The problem is if everyone you download it to, then they're all going to try to start working, right? And so as a general rule, you would just leave it on whatever your main computer is, and it'll work on its own. Even if the computer is sleeping, as long as the computer's not powered off, it'll still work. It'll still do its thing. And so as long as you're not shutting your computer completely down, I would just pick your main computer that you use on a daily basis and install it there, and it'll run in the background and do its thing.
So at night when I shut my computer down, it will just stop, and in the morning when I turn my computer back on, it'll just pick up? Go back
if you shut your computer completely down at night, yes, that's what would happen. I leave mine on because a lot of times I let mine run at night, because that's when it can go and do a lot of work when I'm kind of sleeping, and get a lot of my friend requests out of the way and stuff like that. But everybody's got their own opinions on when they want stuff to work and all that. Happy birthday generally looks kind of right at the beginning of the day, so like right after midnight, like when the day begins on the internal clock. When the day begins, that's when it immediately starts looking for birthdays. And so I'll be wishing people birthday at happy birthday at like 12:01 in the morning. Most of the time.
You're like, what is this crazy guy doing up at 12:01?
Yeah, so
interesting.
But if you had it turned off and you just woke up in the morning, turn your computer on, it would just start from there.
It would just start from that point right there. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm very interested in checking this out myself. I to be honest, when I first saw it, because I of course am in your Facebook group, which has become substantial I've been there for a really long time, but pretty early on, actually, in the beginning of your group, but now it's gotten really big. And so, I don't even know if you see me anymore in there because there's so many of us. But
oh, yeah, I do. I definitely recognize your name.
As I hear about these softwares coming out, and this one in particular, I thought, how does that benefit me? Why would I want the friend or foe? So having this explanation of what it does is super helpful, because yes, I want somebody to weed those out. My question is, how is it different than just setting up an automated response? I know people will ask that, because you can, in your Messenger, you can set up an automated response to people, or when they hit your website or your Facebook page. How is this different? I have two questions. That's one of them.
There's not any software that'll allow you to, well, I say that. There wasn't when I created mine. There's some copycats now, people that have kind of piggybacked off of what mine has done. But when mine was created anyways, there was no other software that could identify friend requests and solely respond to those. That was not possible.
Okay.
And so that's what mine is doing. Mine is targeting incoming friend requests. So when you send me a friend request, I automatically turn around and send you a message. And so that's what the software is doing, which there was no other software that does that. So that's the main difference.
So the one that's the automated response that's in Facebook, that responds to everything. It's not about friend requests specifically.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a substantial difference for sure. And then if they don't if they don't bother to respond to your inquiry, then does it remove them or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of the options. And so, like I said, it has a lot of features, and we could talk all day kind of about all the different things it does. But that is one of the features, is you can set a certain number of days, and you can tell it if they don't respond in a certain number of days, not only will it delete the friend request, it will turn them into a follower of yours automatically for you. And so what that does is it gets them out of my friend request box, but now they're a follower. So they're still going to see my posts, they're going to see my stuff, but I didn't have to give them the space of my friend list. And so that's an option. Now you can turn that feature on or off, and it's completely up to you. So like I said, there's a lot of things that are just a simple click of a button. You turn it on, turn it off. And that's one of the features is I believe it literally says delete friend request and turn into follower. And then you can hit a little drop down and tell it how many days. And so like, I think I've set mine on like 5 or 7 days or something like that. And so if they haven't responded in like 5 or 7 days, then I just let it delete it, get it out of my way. But it also turns them into a follower for me on Facebook. And so I didn't lose them from potentially getting something from me in the future. I just didn't give them the satisfaction of my friends list because they're not engaging with me.
Okay. Gosh, that's nice. Is there any feature for cleaning up what you already got going on?
So I'm glad you asked that. And
I
so
might need that.
I have so Friend or Foe is fixing to be completely reborn. We've been working on it for about 6 months. I've got a dedicated developer that works on it 8 hours a day, every day. And it's fixing to go through a massive relaunch real soon, hopefully within the next month. And the relaunch, Friend or Foe now not only is just going to do friend requests, it's going to be a huge CRM. And so what we can do is we can tag people in Messenger. We can create labels and tags. We can tag people and say, okay, I want these people as friends, these people as customers, these people as leads, whatever I want to do. I can automatically schedule messages in my Messenger with a calendar. And I can say, okay, I want to send my leads and customers this message. And I can type out a message I want to send on this day at this time, completely automated, completely scheduled out with a calendar. I can send it in Messenger. I can schedule out posts on my timeline, my groups, or my pages, completely automated, kind of like a Hootsuite kind of thing, or whatever.
Sure.
And so we'll be able to automate that. We're doing removing inactive friends. So it'll go and scan for, people that aren't engaging with your stuff, and you can set it for a certain number of days and all that. And the dashboard is going to have a lot of widgets. It's going to tell you what's going on with your Facebook, what's going on with your social media, who's active, who's doing what. I was just talking to developers today. We're trying to implement some things to where it'll email you like every day and tell you, here's what happened yesterday. Here's how many people, here's how many friend requests we did. Here's how many inactive people we removed. Here's this, that, and the other, So
wow.
Anyway, there's a lot of features. And I actually haven't said that to anybody at all. This is the first time I've even kind of talked about the details of what's coming up, but it is fixing to get just the biggest facelift of all, and it's going to encompass a lot of other softwares that people are paying a lot of money for. That's just going to kind of make it a one-stop shop, just one place, and it'll just do everything and really help automate and really help save you just an enormous amount of time with your social media accounts and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. But if anyone is interested, I would recommend that you go and join now, because anytime you buy any of my softwares, when you create an account, you get locked in at that price for life. When we release this relaunch, it's obviously going to get a massive price increase because of all the different features that's going to be added to it. So if you get in now, you can get it at a much lower price point, and you'll get to be at that price point when the relaunch comes. You have to pay the higher price. And so definitely encourage you to check it out if you're interested.
Tell us what the price is now.
The price right now is just a mere $17 a month, or it's $187 a year, which is 2 months free. Okay. Or you have to choose one of those. People ask me this all the time. You have to pick one of those at first, okay? Either a monthly or an annual option. After you choose one of those, you are given a one-time offer of $297 for a lifetime. And if you choose that, you also get the Happy Birthday software for free, also for life.
Wow.
And so which is a really good deal. It's a really good deal, especially if you knew what was coming out, which nobody knows except for people that are listening.
I know.
Because the lifetime is probably going to be more like, I don't know, I haven't finished the pricing, but it's probably going to be more like $997 or maybe even higher. And so right now you can get for $297 and you'll still get to keep it. And so it's a much better deal if you knew what was coming But I don't advertise that too much because then everybody's just gonna go buy it right now for real cheap. And
Right.
so you guys are getting a little bit of a gift today, and
We'll take that gift. I'm
yeah.
I'm excited about it. What it is currently for $17 or even an annual. So
And we do have a great affiliate program as well. Love the affiliate program. It's another great way to do organic marketing when you have products and services. Is you get an army of affiliates behind you because that promotes your stuff for free on your behalf. You get to pay your affiliates. I think I paid out close to 6 figures in affiliate commissions last year just for a $17 extension, just for Friend or Foe alone. And so affiliate program is really, really great. We do contests from time to time, giveaways, lots of different stuff. And so I like to have a lot of fun with that. So not only can you use it and save a lot of time, you can earn a lot of money with it as well. And so another great thing to do.
Well, we are out of time, my friend, but thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here and educate us and tell us about this cool software. And I am definitely going to go sign up and be a part of the Friend or Foe family. Thank you. And we need to connect offline, so I'll be in touch with you shortly.
Sounds good. Thanks again for the opportunity. And just remember to pay really close attention to your time, guys. That's the most thing I hope that you can take away from this, not just the software, or anything like that, but what I really want to convey is be really, really conscious of your time. Make sure your time is being spent wisely and valuable, and stuff like that.
Yep.
So
I agree with you. Thank you, my friend. Take care.
thank you. See ya.
Bye-bye. Wow, right? Holy cow. You have got to rush out and get Friend or Foe. Get friendorfoe.com. You need this tool. Absolutely. I'm going to go get my copy. We are running out of time, but I want to just quickly mention that August, the next group coaching for brainstorming and blueprinting your book starts in August, so be watching for that go live button. If you are thinking, I'm ready to write my book, but you need somebody to hold your hand just a little bit along the way, we will spend 6 weeks together as a group, getting all that information out of your head and create a outline for you. That's the brainstorm and the blueprint piece. And then we roll into a 6-month accountability program that's going to help you to actually get your book written and published. Okay, I am out of time, but thank you once again for being here like you are every week, and I will see you next week for another exciting episode of Influence Matters. Take care.